Hey boys and girls, it's Mr. Whitley, and today's lesson is for April 6th, Monday. So I'm sure that your parents have probably talked to you and they've let you know that we're going to be staying home for another month, which for me is really disappointing because I certainly want to be able to see you guys. And I know you guys are itching to get out of your house and go be able to do a few more things, but we'll be able to get through this. I'll continue to give you guys calls and I'll send you these videos each school day. And if you have any questions or need to talk, your moms and dads can shoot me a message on Blooms and we can set something up, okay? I also was talking to Mason last week and we were discussing the idea of adding some simple science and art lessons. So I'll start looking for some of those things that you might be able to do at home with just a few tools or a few supplies. And we'll try those once a week, okay? All right, well, if you're in your packet, you are working on week 2, day 5. And our article is about Garrett Morgan, who is an inventor. And then if you go to phonics, it talks about marking things up. Now, I'm trying this video without Mrs. Whitley and I'm using a tripod, so we'll see how that works, okay? So, if you're looking at marking things up, two of the things they really want you to do are open syllable words and words with a Y at the end that make the long I sound. So, for example, over here, G-O, go, that O makes that long O sound. So you put a macron above it, you scoop it once because it's one syllable, and you put an O underneath it because it's an open vowel syllable. Likewise, underneath, for fry, you have F-R-Y. We hear that long sound at the end, that long vowel, but we know it's a long I sound. Even though it's a Y, it follows that crybaby rule. So we still scoop it once. And that Y above it, you're going to put a macron, and then you're going to put an I with a macron above it. That shows that that Y makes a long I sound, that crybaby rule. And you still have the open vowel syllable. Okay? And then you have your math to work on as well. And then we'll be getting a new packet pretty soon. So please make sure that you are working on your packet right now and finishing up so you don't get far behind. Okay? Well, today what we're going to do is we're going to jump right into foundations first. And I'm going to kind of stand out of the way so hopefully you'll be able to see what we're doing. Well, we've been talking about our double vowel teams, and in this case we have 4 double vowel teams and they all make the oo sound. But the trick is not all of them make the oo sound at the same time. So we have OU, OO, UE, and EW. So for example, for the word flute, the U-E, so we have a V-E, U-E says that ooh sound. Now you don't always have to have a U-E to make the ooh sound. For that U and flu makes that ooh sound as well. Now down here we have our OU and trout. Now, trout is one of those double vowel teams that makes 2 sounds. And the first sound, trout, makes that ow sound. But for soup, that OU makes that oo sound. Soup, ooh. For the double O, it's another one of those vowel teams that makes 2 different sounds. So school makes a oo sound, book makes a sound. UE, we have another vowel team where we have 2 vowel team, same vowel team that makes 2 different sounds. So blue makes the oo sound, and then it also makes the rescue, ooh, that UE make that long U sound. EW is the last one that we're going to be working on. And EW, for like chew, chew, EW says the OO sound. So we have 4 vowel teams. They all make the OO sound, but they don't all make the OO sound at the same time. So we have examples for the OU, OO, and UE that make different sounds at different times depending on where they are in the word or what letters are in the word as well, okay? I know that's a lot, but let's go ahead and jump right to math. So, if you and I were at school together, we would be on lesson 10-1. So, we would be starting a new chapter. Our new chapter would be about data. Data is when you collect information and use it, okay? So the very first thing we're going to look at right here is we're going to talk about modeling and drawing by taking a survey. Now you and I have actually taken a survey before. We've talked about things that are our favorite, whether it's favorite toys or favorite food, and we had people kind of vote on which one was their favorite. So if we were talking about favorite ice cream, maybe we had 5 people vote for mint, and 7 people vote for chocolate, and 3 for vanilla. Well, here it's the same idea. We have what's called a tally chart. And we know what tallies are because we've used tallies to keep track of data. Okay? So in this case, Greg, our imaginary friend Greg, asked his classmates which lunch was their favorite. So their favorite lunch, we have on this side, we have the types of lunches, and then over here we have the number of tallies. So the types of lunches are the ones you'd expect, like pizza and sandwiches, salad and pasta. So for pizza, we go over here and we see we have 4 tallies. For sandwiches, we know that when you're marking that up, that means that line means there's 5 plus 1, so we have 6. Salad, we have 3, and pasta, we have 5. So if we were using this tally chart to give us basic information, we would say, okay, well, we know that sandwiches has 6, and 6 is the most votes out of all of the other lunchtime meals. We go to salads, not surprisingly, salad has 3. 3 is the least amount, which means it's the least popular, okay? So down here, we would have one, if we were in our class, you and I would make this up. It's our favorite pet. We've actually talked about this one before. Over here, we come up with some common pets like cats, dogs, fish, and birds. So I went ahead and just invented some numbers. So for cats, I pretended like we voted and we had 3 people vote for cats, 4 for dogs, 2 for fish, and 1 for birds. So if we wanted to use that tally chart for information, we would say, okay, how many classmates chose the dog? We go over to the tally chart, we say, oh, well, there's 4 there. Which pet did the fewest classmates choose? We say, okay, we know fewest is least. We go to birds, those poor birds, there's always 1 of them, only 1, okay? And at the very bottom, it said, did more classmates choose cats or dogs? Well, we look up here, more classmates chose dogs. How many more? Well, we say 3 for cats, 4 for dogs. If we wanted to compare, we'd say we'd take the bigger number, which is 4, and we'd subtract 3, and that'd give us a remainder of, we'd have 1. So 1 more classmate voted for dogs over cats. Okay? All right. It's a little tricky for you guys to be able to ask your family members to do something like this. If you get a chance to make up your own tally chart, it can be about anything. You could always ask your mom or dad what their favorite TV show is or their favorite food, if you have a little brother or a little sister. If you don't, you can always just make it up. Come up with one, give it a title. Say favorite toys. Put the types of toys down here. Legos, and Legos. Just kidding. And then come up with your own tallies. It doesn't matter how many there are. Just come up with your own and then try and come up with some answers based on that. That's a good way to practice it. Okay? In a moment, I'm going to have Eli and Quinn come down, and we're going to actually talk a little bit about a PAS lesson, and then I have a book that we really haven't read for a long time, and I'm gonna read that with you. Okay? All right. I'll be back in just a moment.